Can Lagos fully unlock the economic value embedded in its waste stream? What policies are guiding this transition? And more importantly, every day, thousands of tons of refuse move through our streets, markets, homes, and industries. But what if what we call waste is actually wealth waiting to be unlocked? And joining me for this conversation this morning is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Lagos Waste Management Authority, Dr. Muyiwa Agbadegeshin. Before now, he served as an advisor to two successive governors of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola. He later served in Oyo State as special advisor, much later as Commissioner for Health and Deputy Chief of Staff to the governor, I believe, Governor Abiola Ajimobi at the time. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us on Super FM.
Good morning, and thanks for having me today.
It's such a pleasure to have you here this morning. So I'll start this way, and I know that this conversation this morning is a really germane one. But first, Lagos's population and the commerce that we see in Lagos, is it a blessing or a curse, especially when it comes to management of waste?
Well, it's a blessing because we have such a large, vibrant population of very active, productive people. And of course, as you know, waste is simply a byproduct of all this economic activity, of productivity, of consumption. And we at LOMA and Lagos State Government, we believe that that waste itself must be turned to wealth. And that's how it becomes a blessing. If we find ways to convert the waste that we normally throw away and we convert it into wealth. And that is the core of our policy, to turn something that, hitherto was a problem. You have waste mounting up in our landfills. We have nowhere to put it. You have people dumping waste by the roadside. And yet, even where you see waste dumped, you see other people scavenging through it, picking out things that have value. And so that's why we're telling people that rather than throwing these byproducts of your consumption or your economic activity away, you should turn it into wealth. You should sort it at home. Sort your PET bottles, your plastic bottles, your cans, your empty mineral cans, your paper and your cardboard, and even your food and organic waste. Every one of these has people who need it as raw materials to make new items. And that's why, we're very excited about these possibilities. Your listeners would be interested to know that our studies indicate that the value in that, what we call circular economy, in turning waste to wealth, is $2.5 billion. And it's something that we believe our people will be able to make a living out of.
Okay, but before we explore this circular economy and waste to wealth conversation further, Lagos generates thousands of tons of waste daily. How big is the waste challenge in Lagos currently? And how has it even evolved over the years? You go on social media today, you see a lot of people complaining about waste on the median, about waste by the roadside, about people, dumping waste indiscriminately. And I do know that there was a time in Lagos, especially when Barrister Fashola was a governor. Even while I stayed far away in Osun State, at the time, I knew that you hear when people say, oh, you can't go to Lagos and throw waste out of your car. If you travel to Lagos, you have to keep it in your pockets or keep it in your car till you get to a place you can dump it properly. But instead of evolving, it does seem like things have really gone worse. So how big is the waste challenge really in Lagos today?
It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge because of the growing population. Years ago, about 15, 20 years ago, Lagos State developed what we call the PSP system, private sector participation, whereby we use private companies to do the household collection. And in the early days, when that program started, it was very successful, and it was one of the reasons why Lagos was clean. But at that time, we had almost 1,500 compactor trucks to service every household in the city. But over time, that fleet of compactor trucks have dropped. And we're currently in the process of, acquiring more, supporting the PSP operators to acquire more. So sometimes when you see, you experience delays in collection of your waste, it's because there's just not enough collection capacity. So it's a temporary problem that we are going to solve in the next few months. So it's things are going to improve, and I should stress that the issues of waste is not everywhere in Lagos. It's not everywhere. There are some areas where there's a lot of pressure, and those areas are also the same areas where you have a high population of people. And you know that part of the problem with waste is behavioral. It's not just the logistic problem. People who don't want to patronize PSP operators, people who don't believe that they should pay for collection of their waste. These are the same people who dump on the roadside. And you find that these same people who dump on the roadside or in the drainage are the same ones complaining that the city is clean, is dirty. So we appeal to people to behave properly. If you want to live in Lagos, you must patronize a PSP operator. You must have a waste bin in your house, and you must obey other laws. For example, you know that we've banned single-use plastics. We've banned all these nylons that people are using, and yet people are continuing to use that. Where you see most of the waste, you see that it's a lot of plastic waste, nylons. Some are still even using styrofoam packs, and these are the problems. People refusing to obey the law. People refusing. You mentioned that you came from Osun State. I'm sure when you came into Lagos, you adjusted your behavior according to what is happening in Lagos. And even in Osun State, I know that people they don't dump waste indiscriminately. When we were growing up, you wake up in the morning, you clean your environment, you keep everywhere tidy. If you have a shop, I had my grandmother who was a trader. First thing she does before she opens the shop is that she sweeps the surroundings so that when the customers come, the place is tidy and clean. What happened to us in Lagos, such that even in the market people refuse to keep the environment clean? You have to threaten them with closure of the market. Even now, we have almost 25 markets closed because of unsanitary environment. So it's a problem of behavior, and every Lagosian must have a change of mind and begin to see their environment as something that they must protect and keep clean. And this is part of why we're trying to bring back this monthly environmental sanitation. It's a way to trigger behavioral change. If everyone must stop, even if it's just once a month, stop what you're doing and pay attention to your environment. Because with a filthy environment, there's no way that you can be healthy. There's no way that you can be productive. And money will not circulate well. The economy will not grow in a filthy environment. People will not want to spend their money. They'll rather run away. And that's part of why you have, a lot of japa and people going to other countries. Why? If you have your own country, why can't you keep that country tidy and clean so that even people from abroad who want to come here to do business, to make investments?
But there's also the question of those who patronize PSPs, and I know you mentioned it in passing as well, that it's a temporary problem, but there are those who patronize PSPs, and these PSPs only come, say, once a month. For example, we've experienced that here in our office here. Sometimes you have to call them repeatedly before they even come around. So how do we solve that problem? Also, on another hand, is the issue of enforcement as well. I know you've spoken about the issue of behavioral issues, but enforcement as well on the part of government. I know we hear time and again, the Ministry of Environment or Loma, Kai have picked up some people, they've been taken to court. But is it a case of the Lagos state government, by extension agencies like yours, being overwhelmed by some of these behavioral issues that even though enforcement is going on, it doesn't seem like it's showing?
Well, your first question, when you have delays with your PSB services, you can reach out to us on we have a couple of free phone call lines, 070 80 60 10 20. Let me repeat that again in case people want to take it down. 070 80 60 10 20. A second line, if you can't get through on that one, you can try 08 00 00 52962. That's simply 08 00 Loma. If you want to spell out the alphanumeric, 08 00 52962. And you can also try 617. That's a short code line. You can also reach out to us by email. And our email address is info@loma.gov.ng. So our role is to monitor the performance, the service delivery of the PSP operator. So whenever you have a delay in collection, you can reach out to us at those numbers and we will be able to do something about it. Secondly, you talked about enforcement. We're talking about behavior. If you have a city of 22, 25, it's a long time since we did the census, but we all know that we're definitely more than 20 million. And every one of those 20 million decides to misbehave. There's no single government agency that can control such a large number of people. However, we are committed to enforcing the law. That's what we're here for as a government. And if you have a society that no one is enforcing the law, of course, that's when, those who are philosophers, that Hobbes talked about the life being nasty, brutish, and short. If everybody decides to do whatever they like. So that's why you have Loma, you have the CAI, you have other agencies, task force. We're constantly every day, 24/7. 24/7, we are monitoring, we do surveillance. We have people going around with hidden cameras, recording offenders and making arrests and prosecuting them. Last year, we prosecuted about 1,070 offenders. Some of them are serving jail terms. Some of them are doing environmental service. However, ensuring that we have a clean and orderly environment, and we ensuring that we protect our health and safety is a collective exercise. And that's why you hear, Lagos State officials will constantly tell you that in Yoruba we say Igbega Ipinle Eko Ajumose Gbogbo wa ni. That means that the upliftment of Lagos, if you love Lagos, the upliftment of Lagos is your task, is my task, is everybody's task. It's a joint collective assignment. Government cannot do it alone, in particular when it comes to keeping the environment clean. Every one of us is responsible for it. You are responsible, I am responsible. You cannot blame government for a filthy environment if you are, by your actions, causing that filth. It's so bad, you have some people where they see our sweepers. We have about 16,000 of them, work from 8 to 12 every morning, sweeping 1,000 streets. And yeah, people see them sweeping and they just dump their trash. And they justify it by saying that, they have to create work for them, that if they don't dump the trash, they won't work. Is that some kind of madness? No, you shouldn't do that. You should not, if you have trash, you should keep it with you. You're an adult who should have passed through some level of acculturation as you were growing up. Why, as an adult, don't you know that you must keep tidy, behave yourself, even things like queuing, maintaining a queue? Is it until the government has war against the discipline before adults know the right thing to do? So let's check ourselves. We should be proud to be well-behaved citizens. We need to check ourselves. And a lot of people go online and they talk about the city being dirty. What have you yourself, who is complaining, what have you done? How have you contributed? Where is your civic responsibility? Have you talked to your neighbor, cautioned your neighbor about waste? Have you reported those who are dumping waste? A lot of people are doing it. And, through those same lines that I gave you, if your neighbor or anyone you know is constituting an environmental nuisance or is breaking environmental laws, you can report them to us. That same number, 070 80 60 10 20. And you can also report them on social medias and tag Loma_gov. That's our social media handle. And we will definitely investigate those people. And so we want you to report wrongdoers. Don't just take a picture of waste somewhere. Try and capture the people who are dumping that waste so that we can track them down. Last year, a good citizen saw someone park their vehicle and they started dumping waste into on a bridge in Alakwere. It was an incident that went viral.
Yes.
A young man on his phone very casually was just taking waste and dumping it from his boot. And someone recorded him. And because we were able to capture the license plate, we were able to trace that young man. He ended up spending 3 months in prison. Because that is absolutely wrong. You cannot leave your house, take waste, and just go and dump it on the drain side or in the drainage. You are negatively impacting the lives of others, because ultimately you're going to have flooding if you're blocking the drains with trash. If everyone decides to do that in Lagos, the flood will carry all of us away, and we don't want that. So please, I appeal to people, work with the government, monitor your environment, don't join them in making the environment dirty, and report those who you see doing that.
All right, let's talk about hard to reach areas in Lagos, maybe because of the road or because of the extreme areas where these places are, and informal waste pickers as well. Does government plan, or is it even happening already, to integrate these informal waste pickers into the formal system of evacuating waste? And how do we solve the challenge of these hard to reach areas as well?
Yeah, that's a great question, and the answer is yes. We are excited about some of the innovations that we've been introducing over the last couple of years. One of the best examples is in Ibejuleki, where with the chairman of the Ibejuleki government, Honorable Olowa, 2 years ago, we introduced tricycle compactors because a lot of the road network in that local government, it's a rural local government, is just developing. So the roads are, many of the roads are under construction or impassable to the big compactor trucks. They get stuck in the mud. But the tricycle compactors are able to penetrate and go into all the little villages. And it's been a very successful program, and people are paying for that waste collection. It's not free. And the company that they partnered with is actually about to expand to other areas like Alimosho local government, and even the Lagos Island local government chairman. We had a meeting last week, and he wants to introduce tricycle compactors to some of the roads in Lagos Island that are very, you have a very narrow roads that compactors can't reach. And so he's doing that. Some other local governments are also looking into that. And then we have private partners who are bringing in tricycle compactors. And the idea is that instead of people patronizing cart pushers who are unregulated and who dump their waste indiscriminately, we replace them with these tricycle compactors. And some of those cart pushers can be trained, documented, given ID cards and uniforms, and we integrate them into the formal system. Same with the scavengers. We want to take them away from this haphazard means of operation where they're actually people believe they're helping, but sometimes they're actually harming, because by the time they collect all these plastics, they leave the trash strewn around. And then they occupy public spaces where they store their materials, and we don't want that. We've enumerated them. We've enumerated about 5,000. We started training them so that they can be the last mile collectors. Once again, they have to be properly registered. They have to be in uniforms. They have to have ID cards, and they will be assigned to specific areas, so that once you have sorted your waste at home, you have somebody who will drive maybe with a cargo bicycle or a tricycle, and they come and they collect your bag of recyclables, and it can be recorded on a POS machine, so that by the end of the month you can get some incentive for it. That's the system that we're introducing and piloting in different parts of the state now.
Okay, let's talk about landfill sites in Lagos. Some of these landfill sites, some people have also expressed some criticism, especially because they also constitute their own, health and environmental hazards as well. So, what is the plan? I know that some are being decommissioned. So, where do things stand today as regards the landfill sites in Lagos?
We we have 5 landfill sites. 2 of them are right in the middle of the city, and the most visible at Ojota. That's the Olushosun landfill. The second one at Igondo, Solus 3, which is right beside Alimosho General Hospital, which is also the home of the School of Nursing. Those 2 sites are filled up. However, we have concluded plans and begun the process of decommissioning the landfills, first of all, and then also constructing transfer loading stations, which will serve as a facility to divert waste away from those locations to newly constructed material recovery facilities in Ikorodu and Badagry. And this is a more modern and sustainable method of treating waste, because what will happen is that the compactor trucks will dump inside the newly constructed transfer loading station, and then we now process that waste into trailers, which will now drive long distance to the material recovery facilities, where the waste can be separated into organic waste. 50% of our waste is organic. So we separate out the organic and use that to produce compost, and then we'll take out the plastics. And some of the plastics will be used to produce waste bins we can distribute free to households. We take out the metals and sell those, paper and cardboard. Everything will be separated that's useful. And the remaining waste, maybe about 10%, can then be managed in a sanitary landfill. At the Olushosun site, we also have a newly constructed collection center for non-recyclable combustible waste, and that was built by Lafarge. So if you come to Olushosun, you see that they're actually collecting all these things that can't be items that can't be recycled, Indomie wraps, sweet wraps, a lot of packaging that's difficult and expensive to recycle, and they're taking that to their cement kiln in Ogun State to use as a refuse-derived fuel. And that's a very good project that will also expand. And at that Olushosun, we also have a plan to build a waste-to-energy projects, including a biogas plant. It's a partnership with Lamata. Completed the feasibility study last year, and there's now a state steering committee that is developing that plan. The idea is that with some of our organic waste, both solid and liquid organic waste, we can produce biogas, which is simply biomethane, to power the CNG fleet that Lamata is bringing in. They're bringing in about 2,000 new CNG buses in phases as part of the energy transition. You know that Nigeria, we're transiting to CNG, which is cleaner burning and is better for our environment. Those buses can use either CNG or biomethane, because it's the same methane, it's just that the source is different. And that will be a big contribution to our statewide push to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So in addition, one of our sites in Ekpe, we closed that about 2 years ago, and we have a memorandum of understanding with a Dutch company to build a waste-to-energy plant on that site. And that waste-to-energy plant will service the free trade zone. Facilities like Alaro City, the Dangote refinery, the Deep Sea Port, the Film City, which is a new project, and also the new Lagos International Airport that's under development as well. So that area will then have, instead of us defaulting to landfilling, as we did at Olushosun, we'll have a modern means of taking in all the waste from those areas and generating power. So that's the future for Lagos. We want to stop using landfills and begin using more modern, sustainable, and safe means of disposing waste.
All right. We'll get to the phone lines shortly. And also to mention that we're streaming live on Facebook. If you'd like to have an audio visual experience of the program this morning, go to Facebook and search for Super FM 92.7 Lagos. I would like us to talk about, our bridges as well. You see, some of our bridges have turned to where you have squatters. In fact, I believe that some of them even have rooms and parlors, on some of these bridges. You see some uncompleted homes, using drainages, gutters, canals as, their dumping site, their bathroom, their toilet even. You still find cases of open defecation, across sometimes as well. So what is the plan to eradicate some of these issues that I just highlighted?
Yeah, so we were talking about overpopulation earlier. And you'll observe that we have a large unaccounted population in Lagos who are basically homeless. They have nowhere else to live. And they keep coming in every single day. Thousands of people streaming into Lagos. So in a sense, Lagos is a victim of its own success. Why are people coming here? Because you have good infrastructure in Lagos. You have safety, which is, Maslow's hierarchy is the number one thing that everyone wants. Security. They're running away from conflict. Some are running away from natural disasters like flooding. And they come into Lagos and they start living under the bridges or by the side of the road. There's a huge drug problem as well. So what the state government is doing is continuously intervening to take people away from such unsafe habitations. A couple of years ago, you noticed that the Commissioner for Environment, in one of our daily inspection exercises, discovered people living under a bridge just by dolphin. And someone had actually partitioned that under that bridge into apartments and was collecting rent. And this is happening. That's criminal behavior. How can you go and take space and just start making money off it? Public space, which is a public infrastructure. And you also a few months ago, this same Commissioner for Environment, Okumbo Wahab, was at the newly constructed Odo Yalaro Bridge, and people have already occupied under that bridge as well. So we will not allow it as a state government. It's something that we have to protect public infrastructure. And one of the plans is to take back those public spaces and replace them with, protect them, of course, and then replace them with recreational facilities. For example, the Ijora Underbridge that the Ministry of Environment cleared a couple of years ago. You'll see that a private partner is on CSR basis. They're building a football pitch there. The same thing with Ijora, the Obalende Bridge, which the Ministry of Environment and Loma cleared a couple of years ago. You see that we recently launched a partnership with MTN, and they're totally redeveloping that area, and it will be a remarkable transformation. Somewhere that before was occupied by all kinds of people. You had people selling drugs there. You had people raising cattle, and of course dumping a lot of waste into that into that McGregor Canal. So we've cleared all that out now, and they're rebuilding that infrastructure. And there's opportunities. We always rely on private sector as well to support us in taking some of those spaces. Another area, the Osborne Loop, we cleared that last year, and immediately Mr. Governor directed that a AstroTurf pitch should be built there. And you see that there's now a lovely AstroTurf pitch. That has been a place where the youth in the community have been playing football for many, many, many years. And now they have a modern facility. And we've charged those same youth to ensure that that location is kept clean. We continue to take back public spaces. And of course, that the state government also is building more and more affordable housing to provide space for people law-abiding, hardworking people. But people who insist on, being, whether it's cart pushers, breaking the law, or scavenging where they shouldn't be, will continue to enforce and protect public spaces against such abuse.
All right, let's circle back to where we started from now, which is the waste to wealth. Um, it sounds fancy, really, waste to wealth, but what is expected of citizens as regards this waste to wealth program, and what is the plan of the Lagos state government as well to unlock the wealth that is embedded in wastes?
Well, what's expected of citizens is to um, register, first of all, with the PSP to collect your waste, number
Mm.
one. Secondly, we want you to sort that waste. Don't throw everything away. Keep the ones that are of value. And what the government is doing is that we're licensing recycling companies that can go around and collect that waste from you. They're everywhere. If you ask within your community, you have a recycler nearby who can come and collect that recyclable from you at your request. And many of them are giving incentives. They give a little bit of money to you in exchange for that. You can, if you're interested in recycling also, you can also reach out to us on
The
the
line.
channels that I mentioned, 070 80 60 10 20, and we're able to connect you to a recycler. We also want citizens to get involved in recycling as a business. You can make money from it. You can, and it's not fancy at all because a lot of people are doing it. We have one of our veteran recycling companies called WeCycler in Ebute Meta. They've engaged a lot of the residents of that community to bring recyclables to them. Some of them are making 300,000, 500,000 a month, and the highest I saw was 700,000. There's a documentary that's online that was done the last International Waste Speakers Day, where some of them were interviewed. So it's a real thing. One of the women talked about how she was able to put her daughter through school up to university by doing this recycling business. So we want people to also get involved in that. It's not something that should be left to the big companies or big investors. You can also make a little money on the side by getting involved in recycling. And like I said earlier, just reach out to us if you're interested in these recycling opportunities or circular economy, and we can guide you through that process. You can email us info@loma.gov.ng or at 070 80 60 10 20. It's a real thing. 3 years ago, no, about 4 years ago, a young man came to my office and he said he wanted to set up recycling centers. And I approved it on the spot. I had even forgotten until last year reminded me that I gave him a letter, a license to go and do it. And now he has 8 of those facilities. The most recent one he opened in Apapa, and I was there for the launch. And I was so proud of it. Very young, maybe in his 30s, and he's doing very well. And there are many people like that. It's an opportunity. It's a wide open field, and it's something that we want young people to get involved in. Interestingly, the Loma Academy, which was established by Mr. Governor, one of his brainchilds about 4 years ago, we have a monthly internship program. And during that monthly internship, we train graduates and undergraduates on circular economy, on recycling, on waste management. And many of them have gone on to set up businesses. One of them produces shoes from waste and is doing very well, even exporting as well. And it's remarkable the vision and the passion and the energy of young Nigerians. Just as we have young Nigerians doing very well in music industry, in sports, we're starting to see a lot of young Nigerians innovating in circular economy, in recycling, in waste management. So that's one of the asks that we have of citizens. Get involved, and you can make a living from waste.
All right, let's get to the phone lines now and take contributions, comments, questions, whichever one you like to put across this morning. 0805 092 0927 0927 or call 002 502 7711. You can also send a message to us on WhatsApp on 0705 6900 Our guest this morning is Dr. Muyiwa Geshin, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Lagos Waste Management Agency. And this morning we've been looking at several issues as regards the management of waste in Lagos. We've talked about enforcement, we've talked about the waste to wealth. We've also spoken about some of the infrastructure available as well. So you've spoken about, in passing, power generation as well. Is this something that can be done at large scale, especially now that power has even been devolved to states to also start to handle?
Yes, absolutely. We have the project I mentioned that Ekpe will take 1,500 tons of waste daily and produce about 60 megawatts of electricity. But when we talk about waste to energy, there are also smaller scale projects. The best example is the one that the Ministry of Environment and LOMA launched 2 weeks ago at the Ikosi fruit market, one of the largest fruit markets. That facility takes in about 100 kilograms of fruit waste every day and produces biogas that powers a generator that powers lights for the market, and the market people also use it for cooking gas and the electricity they use to charge their phones as well. And it's already had a big positive impact on the market. That project was done in partnership with the international donor agency, C40 Cities. And because of the success of the project, we're now going to replicate that to other markets around the state, so that we give them an in situ means of treating their waste. We talked about markets, a lot of markets being dirty and dumping their waste indiscriminately. That will become a thing of the past. If they have an in situ biogas or biodigester inside the market, they can put all their waste there and use it to power the market. And this can also be done in communities as well, not just markets. So it can be used to take care of the biological waste and the food waste. So we're going to have a mix of the large waste to energy projects. I mentioned the biogas plant, the waste to energy plant that generates electricity. The biogas plant is going to generate biomethane for the mobility sector, the buses, and even the compactors of Loma, while the smaller biodigesters will be placed in markets and communities statewide. So that is waste to energy. We must have a range because we want everybody to be, to carry it along. And we're also looking at possibility that those can be business opportunities for young people as well. Set up a biodigester and find a way to monetize whatever you're producing from that. Maybe you sell the gas or people pay you for the electricity.
All right. This is the time for you to join the conversation. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Jolade. I'm calling from VI.
Okay, please go ahead, Jolade.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much to the director. Thank you for the insight that you gave concerning the agency. Okay, but I understand the part of you having shortfall when it comes to your trucks for delivery, because a major challenge that I have working with Loma is timely pickup of waste. Sometimes I have waste for like a month or over in my company, and company waste is a lot. It's not like in the home that is just maybe a bag and all that. And sometimes I have to call over and over again before I get my waste picked up. I understand what you are saying very well, but if you could please help to put more into this, it will really, really go a long way. Then another thing, I heard you about the citizens, taking up responsibility when we see somebody dumping refuse somewhere or doing that which is not right. But I would also love to suggest that your agency can work with security people as well. Because for me, it is a very sad thing when I'm, passing by and I'm seeing somebody defecating into the waters, on the bridge. They don't care. They don't even have that shame not to even be like, oh, if you could work with them so that as they are doing this act, they are being picked up immediately.
All right.
I want a cleaner Lagos, a fresher Lagos, clean smell, so please kindly help to look into this. Once again, thank you so much
All right.
for all
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Please turn off your radio set. Good morning.
It's on.
All right.
Good morning. This is Usman for Bari.
Please go ahead, Usman.
See, my whole complaint today. See, all those Loma, all those people that park, they did Gerard Road. This Gerard Road, Kui. I don't know why. You will live on wicked, you got park with the police or Saturday or Sunday. Working day Monday morning or Tuesday morning. They will go and carry their truck to block the road. All the name of they are parking, causing traffic. You understand me? They are just wicked. Okay, if you're parking for working day, why do you park for night or early morning? That you can't to come and block road, go all the way because you are parking the donkey. Yeah? Please,
right.
all those, hello?
Where with you? Wrap up.
Please let your guests to talk about that one because I don't know. Don't say this Gerard is too narrow. But when they carry their truck block one side, it just cause a lot of traffic.
All right.
Let them put their dog in the night or weekend where they are no much.
All right. Thank you, Usman, for your contribution. You too can ask your questions or lay your complaints now. If you have one, 005-092-0927, or you can call 002-502-7711. On WhatsApp, this message says, good morning. What is Loma doing about the indiscriminate dumping of waste along Agege Motor Road, along the median, especially from the Empire end? All right. Thank you for that message. But let's take your reactions to some of the comments we have already.
Okay, so with respect to the question by the complaints by Jolade on timely pickup of waste, I want to thank you for patronizing the PSP operator, and I assure you that we'll look into. We have a couple of the PSP operators in VI who have been experiencing challenges. We're working with them to solve those challenges, so it should be a thing of the past very soon. However, you can always reach out directly when you have issues. In fact, we go as far as using our own trucks to collect waste because we don't want people to have to keep waste indefinitely at home. So if you're a business in VI and you have such issues, reach out directly to Loma 070 80 60 10 20. And you can also tag us on your social media. We have Loma_GOV and my own social media handle. I'm active and I respond to people's complaints on there at Muiwaji. You can tag me, you can send me a private message if you have issues, and we'll immediately look into it.
All right, before you respond to the next one, let's take another call.
Okay, she asked two questions.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ibrahim. I'm calling from Osho.
Please go ahead, Ibrahim.
Our problem is in Maryland. Just Loma and the people who they register with them, their own drug, they are not coming regularly in the mall sometimes after 1 month, sometimes after closing 2 months. So our own problem is that if they are coming after 2 weeks, it's okay. Maryland will be clean and everywhere cannot be dirty. And anybody that thinks that motor or taking a pay, all those plus one, all those residents of police do not allow them to they stay for the major road. When you come, sometimes you even pass, you close your own nose, like say it's cheap, it's smelling before you pass. So all those made a challenge, all those people that register with them and put hope for them after 2 weeks. It's okay. They cannot come after 1 month or after almost 2 months. Midland is 30
Where do you say your area is again?
Oshodi Isolo
Oshodi
area,
Solo. All right.
a part of Agwo Palace Way, Irakari, and even Sale area. All those areas is very dirty, and those Loma, they are not coming after 3 weeks or after 2. They will come after 1 month or 2 months or and we say we are try our own and report to their chief organs to the headquarters.
All right.
Sometimes their job will just die and just fall for the road. So Maryland is dirty everywhere. We don't like that.
All right. Thank you, Ibrahim. All right. So let's get back to Lolade's second question and then to the rest as well.
Yes, she talked about open defecation, and that's also something that we continuously clamp on. Since last week, for example, we've arrested about 56 people. They've turned some areas of the state into open defecation galleries in the morning and very early hours. You see them lining along the bridge and defecating into the lagoon, just as she said. And so we go in and we have a open defecation task force that waits. Once they see them, they catch them in the act, and we take them to the environmental task force, and we'll continue to do that and expand. It's out of control. So I want to assure her that we're definitely taking it seriously. Maybe I can go on to this man's question.
Yes.
We also frown on that. I've personally seen it as well. And when PSV operators block the road, you notice sometimes the waste handlers will dump the trash on the road and start picking through it. It's something that we frown upon. And I think in this same Gerard Road, we issued a warning letter to one of the PSV operators that was engaged in that, and we'll continue to monitor and clamp down on them. It's one of the warnings they get. We have a system of monitoring, and when they commit, they violate the rules repeatedly, we can take them off the job. Some of the last caller talked about Ushodi Solo. Some of the PSPs in there have challenges, and I believe 1 or 2 are on their final warning before we change them. Last year, about 27 were removed because of non-performance, and already I believe we have about 22 who are on a final warning. So we take the performance aspect seriously.
But if you don't have enough and then we're taking some off, does it not compound the problem
well,
further?
It's whether you can do the work or you can't. You can't be in there and you're not providing the service, and you expect people to pay. So we rather open it up for other people to do the work, and we'll continue to do that. Your waste must be collected once weekly. Once you're paying, it should be once weekly. And in some areas, maybe some estates, they've negotiated that they want twice monthly, but there shouldn't be a situation where your waste is not being collected for months. There's no excuse for it. Reach out to us if you have such issues.
All right, let's take another call again. Hello, good morning.
Taking natural one.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Chris, calling from Yanapaja.
Please go ahead, Chris.
I'm enjoying the conversation, but I just have a question to ask. Along the road, the expressway going towards Ojodubeg at the waste bin sites, the really large waste bin site, I don't know the area of the name of that place, close to 7 Up. What
the dump
is
site.
The plan that the dump site? What is the plan that the Lagos State government has for that place? Because I think it's actually a very big eyesore, and I think there's also one close to Lasso or after Lasso too. Because I passed there last week. I think that there's developments coming in Lagos recently, and people coming in sees those things, and the smell and everything are actually very.
All right. He already address them, but maybe you missed that part. I don't know if you can just reiterate.
Yes, we talked about it earlier that those 2 locations you mentioned are we're in the process of decommissioning them. That means that we will extract the gas. There's a lot of gas trapped under that waste because it's organic waste, so as it's decomposing, it's producing methane gas, and some of the gases produced is responsible for the smell as well. We're going to tap that gas and then cover the dump site. Currently, we're in the process of constructing transfer loading stations that will serve as contained facilities where the waste can be dumped and then removed to the material recovery facilities, which are also under construction. We also have on that site currently a Lafarge facility where they're collecting non-recyclable combustible waste and taking it away to their cement kiln for as refuse-derived fuel, and they plan to expand and consume some of that waste as well. There's a lot of the waste can be converted to refuse-derived fuel that can be taken for either Lafarge or Dangote. So that's the plan. We're going to decommission and close them. So the timeline is 18 months from when we break ground. We should be later this month.
On Facebook, Eteka Indifreke says, good morning, everyone in the studio. This is a very nice topic. Please, something needs to be done here in Badagry. Everywhere is totally dirty. You see people defecating on the way, dumping trash any way they like. Please, our government should do something about it. And then it says, you also see food sellers pouring dirty water on the street. This one also says, good morning, thank you very much, Super FM, for bringing the director of Loma. Really insightful. Please bring more of these personalities to address issues that are affecting us daily. Well, the message on WhatsApp also spoke about Agege Motor Road along, I said, especially from the Empire end as well.
Yes, so the Agege Motor Road is one of those high impact areas. It's a heavily populated area. Some communities in there don't like to pay for their waste. So we're introducing more public waste bins there, so that they can dump their waste into those public waste bins, which we can service directly. We're also expanding the policing of that stretch to prevent people from dumping indiscriminately. So those bins should be in place in the next couple of months. We have some now. There's just that it's not enough for the people that are bringing out their waste. We talked about
Badagry, yes.
Yeah, so Badagry, we're expanding our sanitation efforts there. A lot of newly constructed roads there. We're introducing street sweepers to those roads. We're currently intensifying the cleanup of the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. There's some markets along that stretch. Some of them have been shut down because of indiscriminate dumping of waste. You notice this market around Agbara is actually in Ogun State, but we're going to do something. We've done a cleanup there. We're going to seal those markets as well. We've sealed up to Alabarago. We haven't sealed Alabarago because they're in the process. They were with us yesterday, and they've done an undertaking that they're going to manage their markets better. But a lot of the other markets, we've sealed those. So we'll continue to push, and we'll continue to expand the public waste collection, the street sweeping, and the enforcement. When you talk about open defecation, it's mainly by the homeless people, and sometimes some operators. If you look at the background of the people being arrested, some of them are transporters, conductors, cart pushers. The fact is that there is enough public toilets. I mean, maybe not enough, but there are quite a lot of public toilets around Lagos, thousands. Think about 1,600 or so. And all the filling stations and eateries are also by law required to provide toilets. So there's no reason for anyone to go and be defecating openly. So we'll continue to enforce against that until people get the message.
All right. When markets are shut and when eventually you come to a compromise and you reopen, do things usually improve? Just a yes or no afterwards.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I would like to sincerely thank you, Dr. Muyiwa Agbadegeshi, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at Loma, for coming through on Spotlight this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, you have the numbers already. We just 0708 060 1020. That's the number. Well, someone is asking, what is Loma doing to curtail the abuse done daily by those who sell by the roadside? But we're out of time. But thank you once again for joining us. My name is Buyega Olaniyi. Thank you very much for being a part of the conversation today. Enjoy the rest of your day.